Nebraska Nightly.
An Air Park Rec employee cited for assault.
And him later shooting a DHHS officer at his home.
Plus a 30-hour hostage situation.
And a new look might be coming to Memorial Stadium.
This is Nebraska Nightly.
Live from the Don and Lorena Meyer studio at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln College of Journalism and Mass Communications, this is Nebraska Nightly.
Welcome to Nebraska Nightly. I'm Jackson Atwell.
And I'm Mackenzie Noble.
Our top story today, an exciting proposal for Husker fans, all after the University of Nebraska celebrates the 100th anniversary of Memorial Stadium.
And sports anchor Nathan Hawkins is here with the details. Nathan?
Thanks, Mackenzie. Memorial Stadium has been a staple of Nebraska for a century, but in a few years, it will look a lot different. Yesterday, Athletic Director Trev Alberts announced the proposal for a renovation. And the price tag, well, it's high. $450 million, the figure for the makeover. Here's what you need to know. The stadium will undergo a multi-phase construction plan beginning next year. The renovations are set to begin early in 2024 and last at least 2.5 years. The current stadium capacity is 82,841. After renovation, capacity will permanently be reduced by 8,000 to 10,000, resulting in a final figure of 73,000 to 75,000 total fans. The South Stadium, which holds around 23,000 fans, will be demolished in early 2025. That means for the 2025 season, 23,000 fans will be displaced. When construction is finished, South Stadium will be replaced with a multi-level grandstand and a new student section. Goodbye benches, hello chairback seats. Those are coming to both the East and West Stadium. And at $450 million, it's the most expensive project in the history of Nebraska athletics. Half of the funding will come from the athletic department, while the other half will come from private funds. The proposal is awaiting final approval from the Board of Regents next Thursday. We'll have more about this ambitious renovation in sports.
Thank you, Nathan. A Lincoln man lost his job and is being charged with multiple counts of assault for separate incidents this week. Police charged Brent Lopez with assault after fighting with two teenage girls at the Air Park Recreation Center. As seen in this video, Lopez was physically attempting to remove one of the girls from the facility. As the girl struggled to escape, she struck Lopez, who responded by punching the girl and bystander who attempted to intervene. Following the incident, the city of Lincoln released a statement announcing Lopez was no longer employed by the Parks and Rec Department.
Police cited Lopez for 2 counts of misdemeanor assault following the incident. However, he was not done with the law yet. On Tuesday afternoon, police arrested Lopez for assault on an officer and use of firearm to commit a felony. It was discovered Lopez shot multiple rounds at Department of Health and Human Services workers from his porch. The shooting happened near North 7th and Y Streets. The DHHS workers were performing a welfare check in the area. One DHHS worker was shot once and sent to a local hospital, but he was later released with a non-life-threatening injury.
In a Zoom court appearance Thursday, Lopez said he thought he was shooting a police officer. Lopez now faces 4 felony charges: first-degree assault on an officer, 2 counts of use of firearm to commit a felony, and attempt of a Class 2 felony. He was arraigned in court Thursday, and a judge set his bond at 10% of $500,000.
A warm weekend is on its way.
But I'm starting to wonder if those fall temperatures are being pushed back.
Well, meteorologist Dominic Ferraro has a look at our forecast. Dominic?
Well, certainly it's going to be a little while before we see those fall temperatures. However, tomorrow is game day in Nebraska, so let's get you your game day prediction. Starting out at 8 a.m., 73 degrees, mostly sunny skies. By the time you get out there at those tailgates, 11 a.m., we have shot up to 83 degrees. And then kickoff tomorrow, 2:30 p.m., 91 degrees, mostly sunny skies, with winds out of the south at 15 to 20 miles per hour. And throughout the game, it's only getting hotter. We're going to close out around 5 p.m. at 93 degrees. Another prediction for the day, I have Nebraska winning tomorrow in a shocking upset, 20 to 17. And Nebraska's consecutive sellout streak won't be the only record we could see updated tomorrow. I'll have more about that and your 7-day forecast after the break.
Thank you, Dominic. After a 30-hour standoff with law enforcement in Gering, a Scottsbluff man is now facing attempted second-degree murder charges for firing at officers. Bradley Garcia is accused of holding 3 people hostage, including 2 children, in a standoff that began Tuesday and ended late Wednesday night. A Scottsbluff County deputy tried to stop Garcia's car for a traffic violation Tuesday afternoon. Garcia refused to stop. A brief pursuit ensued that included Gering police, but ended when Garcia crashed his car into a garage. Police say Garcia entered the home and took 3 people hostage, including 2 children. Members of the FBI hostage rescue and SWAT teams rescued the children and eventually the woman from the home. Police say Garcia fired multiple gunshots toward officers from more than one weapon, but fortunately no one was injured. Bradley Garcia was arrested for attempted second-degree murder, kidnapping, and possession of deadly weapons.
While walking into Abel Hall Dining on the University of Nebraska campus, you might be wondering, where are all the students? As of fall 2023, the dining hall is now mobile order only. Nebraska Nightly's Priscilla Castaneda reports students are adjusting.
Mobile order dining is students' most popular option on the University of Nebraska-Lincoln campus, serving more than 3,000 students daily. Through the N2Go app, students are able to order a to-go box or dine in with traditional trays in the Able Dining Center. High demand at Able led to the change.
Our dining service seemed to be the next logical place to do the mobile ordering, and we thought we have 2 other all-you-care-to-eat places on campus.
McCullough says number of students eating at Able Hall keeps growing.
Actually, our counts have increased a lot, so obviously they have adjusted very well. I think the counts speak for themselves because we're so much busier than we were last year.
UNL students like the convenience and the food.
Oh yeah, I honestly love it. It's super nice because you can do it towards the end of your class and you go and just pick it up. It's pretty cool.
When I came here, I thought it might be a problem, just because sometimes you want to order more food than they offer, but it really hasn't been that way. Most of the meals are pretty good.
Last year, the choices for a student dining in at Able Hall were limited. Now with the app, they have control and choice, and they like it. Priscilla Castaneda, Nebraska Nightly.
The majority of dining halls on UNL campus now offer mobile ordering.
Coming up after the break,
Congress is running out of time until government shutdown.
plus GOP subpoenas bank records from Hunter and Joe Biden. Stick with us.
Of the 40 million tons of plastic waste generated in the U.S. in 2021, only 5%, or 2 million tons, was recycled. Make sure you do your part in keeping Anderson Hall clean. For more information on recycling statistics, visit epa.gov today.
Welcome back to Nebraska Nightly. This weekend in Lincoln is looking surprisingly hot for the beginning of October.
Well, let's hear from our meteorologist Dominic Ferraro about what to expect this weekend. Dominic?
Hot is only the beginning. Currently in Lincoln, we have 96 degrees, mostly sunny skies, winds out of the south at 20 miles per hour. However, not stopping that heat. Today's high temperature of 96 is a record high for the day. Moving into tonight, if you're going out to look at the harvest moon, tonight mostly clear skies, 73 degrees. We'll stay a little breezy with winds out of the south at 15 miles per hour. Looking into Saturday, mostly sunny skies, still staying breezy at a high of 93 degrees. Winds out of the south at 15 to 20 miles per hour, and we could see gusts up to 30. I want to take a look at the almanac for tomorrow. So right now we have a forecast high of 93 degrees. The record high for tomorrow, 94, set back way in 1952. Would not be surprised if we see that change tomorrow. Looking in to see what is bringing us all of this warm weather. We have a warm front that just worked its way through the area, bringing in a bunch of warm, moist air, from the Gulf of Mexico. Looking into your week ahead, mostly sunny skies tomorrow into 91 degrees on Sunday, and starting your week off on Monday with an 89-degree high. However, cold front working its way across the country. Tuesday will bring us mostly cloudy skies and a chance of rain with a high of 79 degrees. Looking into Wednesday and Thursday, staying low 70s, could see a chance of rain on Wednesday. However, we'll clear up by Thursday, and we'll end the week on Friday with partly cloudy skies and a high of 74 degrees. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Dominic. Senator Dianne Feinstein has died at the age of 90.
The California Democrat was the longest-serving female senator in U.S. history. She was also the oldest current member at the time of her death. Feinstein, a former mayor of San Francisco, was first elected to the U.S. Senate in 1992. Some of her consequential work included the 1994 federal assault weapons ban and the 2014 CIA torture report.
Recently, Feinstein's health became a subject of increasing scrutiny. She took an extended absence from the Senate in February when she was hospitalized with shingles. She returned 3 months later after suffering multiple complications. There was also another brief stay in the hospital in August after a fall.
California Governor Gavin Newsom now has the power to appoint someone to serve out the rest of Feinstein's term.
House Republicans have subpoenaed Hunter and James Biden's personal and business records. On Thursday, the House Oversight Committee issued 3 bank subpoenas for the president's son and brother. It is part of the committee's impeachment inquiry into the president. The subpoenas request the banks turn over Hunter and James records dating back to January 1st, 2014 by October 12th. The House Oversight Committee says the bank records will help them investigate whether President Joe Biden personally benefited from any of his family's foreign business deals. The inquiry hasn't uncovered any links thus far. The House Oversight Committee has already subpoenaed 6 banks to get bank records of Biden family business associates.
With less than 48 hours to go before the U.S. government runs out of time and funding, the White House is preparing for the worst. Some senior staffers in the Biden administration have started learning how to do jobs that are usually handled by their junior aides, many of whom will be furloughed should the shutdown happen. John Lorink reporting for Standoff in Congress.
Washington, D.C. has until Saturday night to figure out a way to prevent the government from running out of money. And if that happens,
I think it's unlikely that a shutdown would directly push us into recession, but it is certainly not helpful.
Since 1976, the U.S. has had 20 federal funding gaps. Most of them happened when one party wasn't in control of the White House, the House, and the Senate, and that's the current situation.
A government shutdown is just yet another drag on the economy because it ends up disrupting lots of supply chains and lots of services.
Another effect of a shutdown would be active military members and border control agents being forced to work without pay.
A government shutdown is a worst case scenario for the department, so we continue to ask Congress to do its job and fund the government.
The GOP-led House passed numerous spending bills Thursday night, including one for the State Department, but none of them will avert a shutdown, and the clock is ticking.
There's people that are talking, but it's, as I stated, it's the same bunch on both sides, and until leadership wants to walk down there and talk to them, it's just not going to happen.
and both sides remain split.
The Republicans want to shut down the government because they want to cut Social Security, slash public school funding, and criminalize abortion care.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The bills passed by the House late Thursday are expected to be dead on arrival in the Senate. Likewise, the Senate's bipartisan stopgap proposal, which still needs financial passing, is not likely to get through the House.
Our newscast, Nebraska Nightly, is part of the Student Experience Lab here at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. There are several components to the Experience Lab, and for the next several shows, we are featuring each of them. Today, Carly McFarland is live right now at the Pepsi Unlimited Sports Lab to give us some more details.
Thank you, Mackenzie. I am in the Pepsi Center on the second floor of Anderson Hall with Unlimited Sports student lead Kristen Collins. Unlimited Sports gives students the opportunity to gain experience in sports media. Kristen, can you tell me a little bit about the events students in Unlimited Sports cover and the content you create?
Yeah, for sure. So our students get to do a wide variety of things with sports media. They get to do things from writing stories about sporting events. We have a lot of students interested in podcasting, photo essays, videos, as well as like news packages. So really whatever students are interested in, they get to do whatever they want in the sports media realm.
And what teams do you cover with Unlimited Sports this year?
We're really lucky. We get to do a lot with Husker Athletics, so we have a lot of students covering football right now as well as volleyball. We have basketball tonight, so we're very excited about that. But we also get to do a lot with the Lincoln surrounding areas, so for students who might be a little bit nervous about going to their first sporting event to cover, they can go to the Lincoln high schools and do something like that before stepping up to a collegiate sport.
And how did you assume your position as student lead for Unlimited Sports, Kristen?
So I was in Unlimited Sports once too, and I was in the same spot as everyone else, and I really enjoyed getting to go out and try new things and figure out where I wanted to be in the sports media realm. So they asked me to be a lead, and I get to help other students figure out what their passions are in sports media. So it's very exciting.
To check out the content that Unlimited Sports is creating, go to Nebraska News Service's website and click on the Unlimited Sports tab. I'm Carly McFarland reporting live for Nebraska Nightly.
Thank you, Carly. Stick around for next Friday when we introduce the Nebraska News Service Experience Lab.
Coming up after the break.
A deep dive on what to expect for Husker football this week.
Plus, a closer look into the proposed $450 million Memorial Stadium renovations.
And a glimpse into Husker volleyball, all after the break.
Don't let it happen to other Big Ten schools. Go to saveourdinos.org to learn more.
Welcome back. Husker sports have been quite busy lately.
That's right, Jackson, and it looks like we're not slowing down.
Yeah. Nathan Hawkins is here with all the latest on Husker sports. Nathan?
Well, the news of the week in Husker sports, the Nebraska staple Memorial Stadium undergoing its most serious renovations in 100 years. Trey Marler has more from the place itself.
A plan to officially renovate Memorial Stadium is now on the horizon. The expected cost for the full reconstruction is $450 million and includes concession upgrades, South Stadium demolition, chairback seating in East and West stadiums, and more.
And just like we're building the best training facility probably in the country, sounds like we'll continue to one of the most iconic, but also one of the best stadiums.
All this to improve the fan experience.
What fans expect in 2023 is perhaps slightly different than what it was 100 years ago. Number two, we need to modernize Memorial Stadium to ensure an infrastructure for the next century. Really, really important. We love the history that has happened in our stadium is pretty remarkable.
One of the main focuses of the renovation is on the students, something that Albert said wasn't overlooked when planning to modernize Memorial Stadium.
A significant desire and interest to really embrace our students. And I think the athletic department can do a better job of making the student experience, as well as the band, a much more integral part of what our game day environment looks and feels like.
Now, the stadium renovation is not expected to be an overnight project. Trev Alberts made note in his Thursday morning press conference that if everything goes to plan, the stadium is expected to be done by July of 2026. For now, reporting from Memorial Stadium, I'm Trey Marler, Nebraska Nightly.
Thank you, Trey. For now, no construction at Memorial Stadium. They've got a game to play tomorrow. The number 2 team in the country, the Michigan Wolverines, are coming to town, and on the field, a different type of bulldozer has been the most positive storyline of the season so far, the defensive front. Tony White's unit is off to a great start. They're 11th in the nation in sacks with 14 on the year, and their run defense is the very best in the country, allowing just 46.2 yards per game. Michigan imposes a counter to that. Last season, the Wolverines were 7th in the country in rushing yards per game. Head coach Matt Rule knows they provide their toughest challenge yet.
This is a team that's going to come in that's going to try to prove a point on the ground against you and run the ball at you. And so guys have to be up for the challenge. But just from a 50,000-foot view, what we're doing, the blueprint that we want to have is moving in that direction. So we just have to keep accelerating it each week.
Let's look at the matchup. These teams have played 12 times. Michigan 7-4-1 in the series, including winning the last 3 matchups. Nebraska hasn't beaten a ranked team since 2016. A tough task ahead to end that skid. Michigan 18.5-point favorites. Kickoff is set for 2:30. Nebraska volleyball has hit the road for their longest away stretch of the season. They'll do so with a new but familiar face on the sideline. The governor, Jordan Larson, is taking her spot on the Nebraska bench. She was hired this summer as a 3rd assistant for the volleyball team, but she's been busy. This past Sunday, she was playing overseas, helping Team USA clinch a spot in the 2024 Summer Olympics. Now she's taking her spot on the bench for the first time, and she already likes what she sees from the Huskers.
We're feisty, we're edgy, we compete hard, and I don't know, we come in with a great mindset, and it's been really fun to watch. And obviously just kind of being in it behind the scenes, right? I think most of my life has been on the playing side, so seeing it from the coaching side has been fun to kind of learn that perspective as well.
Larson joins the team as they hit the road. First up, a trip to West Lafayette to play the 17th-ranked Purdue Boilermakers tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, they travel across Indiana for a matchup with the Hoosiers. They stay on the road next weekend. First, a matchup next Friday against Michigan State before heading to Ann Arbor to play Michigan. If Nebraska can take care of business, they will return home in 2 weeks with a record of 15-0.
Well, volleyball is getting really exciting, especially with all the momentum we've been getting lately.
I mean, this really feels like a team that at the end of the year could be hoisting a national championship. They're so young, but they're on fire, and they've been a lot of fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one can only hope.
That's for sure. And not to mention the new stadium renovations. I mean, that's a pretty big deal right there.
I mean, yeah, it's all the talk that this has been months and months in the making. When he joined the show in March, he brought it up, and he wanted to take a lot of care and time with it, and here we are. So awaiting approval next Thursday, and if so, it's still a long road ahead until Memorial Stadium is complete.
That is true. At least at the end of the renovations, we'll still be ahead of Iowa. That's what I'm holding hopes for.
That's always a win. That's always a win.
Yeah. Coming up after the break.
A comedy show that is sure to make you laugh.
Great ways to celebrate spooky season.
And today is National Coffee Day. We'll tell you all about it after the break.
Of the 40 million tons of plastic waste generated in the U.S. in 2021, only 5% or 2 million tons was recycled. Make sure you do your part in keeping Anderson Hall clean. For more information on recycling statistics, visit epa.gov today.
Welcome back. It's a big weekend in Lincoln.
And Reed Greger has more on all the things happening here in Capital City. Reed?
The Bourbon Theater is hosting the touring comedian Jeff Leeson this Sunday. He has more than 50 million views on his comedic clips online, and he will be in Lincoln for one night only. Tickets range from $20 to $35, and you can find them online at bourbontheater.com, or you can buy them when you get there. Doors open at 7 p.m. and the show starts at 8:30. The Lincoln YMCA will be hosting their annual winter coat drive starting this Sunday. The coat drive will continue through October with all donations going to the People's City Mission. Anyone who makes a donation will receive a free pass to try the Y for 1 week. In the last 2 years, more than 6,000 coats have been collected. There are plenty of drop-off locations for you to donate, and you can find more information at ymcalincoln.org. It's officially fall, and you know what that means. Haunted houses and pumpkin carving is in season. The Rocaberry Farm has you covered for any Halloween horrors you need this October. The farm is open every weekend in October for haunted hay rides, ghost town mini golf, haunted houses, and jumping pillows. You can get tickets online at rocaberryfarm.com or at the ticket booth on the night of your visit. They have multiple events for the whole family, and tickets are around $30 with group rates available. In celebration of hopefully another Husker win on Saturday, Kip Givens will be hosting an exclusive distillery and game day tour. The tour will feature Lincoln's very first legal distillery, so you will have to be 21 years or older to attend. The tickets are $15 and will include a hand-picked selection of whiskeys. The tour goes from 12:30 to 1:30, and tickets are limited, so make sure to grab yours today on eventbrite.com.
Meteorologist Dominic Ferraro is here to give us one last look at our game day forecast. How are things looking, Dominic?
I don't have a camera. That's cool. All right.
I'm hoping it's really warm this weekend. You know, my parents are in town for the weekend, and I'm excited. I am.
Yes. Especially with the big game coming up against Michigan, it has to be warm for us to have some chance, I hope. You know,
not too hot, though, because that's when it gets uncomfortable.
That's true. All right, Dominic, let's hear it with weather.
All right. So, quick 3-day outlook here to close things out. Again, tomorrow for the game, 93, mostly sunny skies. We'll get a little breezy tomorrow. Into Sunday, 91, mostly sunny skies. And then to start your week off on Monday, 89 degrees, mostly sunny skies. That wind should die off. But hopefully, and I say hopefully, that is the last we have to report about hot weather here, because honestly, I'm getting tired of it. It's too hot. It's way too warm. Yes. I'm ready to break out the sweaters and not have to worry about sweating every time I go to class.
That is true.
Yes.
That is true. That's the hard part, when you show up all sweaty and gross. But
it's never fun to show up sweaty to a class.
No, never.
And especially in the morning when it's hot and you're having your morning coffee. It's coffee day, and coffee in the morning when it's hot just isn't as great. Maybe cold coffee. I don't know.
You know, that's the price we pay for living in the Midwest. So what can you do?
True. That is true.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. This has been Nebraska Nightly.
Join us again on Tuesday at 4:30 and have a great weekend.